Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're excited to bring you a webinar presenting EasyVista IT Service Management today. The demonstration is going to focus on all major parts of the ITSM solution offered by EasyVista. If you're not familiar with the company, it's been around for a while, and it's one of the better robust solutions with full capabilities extending beyond ITSM, based out of France, lots of offices here in the UK. I believe everyone attending our webinar today is a former Sharewell partner, so you may hear some familiar faces on the phone, our familiar voices on the phone. My name is Laura Walker. I work with StrataCom. We're an EasyVista partner. We've also got Rod Schmidt and Todd Russell from EasyVista, who will be co-hosting and presenting today, and they are legacy Sharewell folks. A little bit of background about who we are. As hosts of the webinar, StrataCom was founded in 1997. We've always been focused on IT service management consulting, partnering with what we feel have been the biggest and best solutions in the market. Back in the day, it was IBM, HP, Peregrine, Remedy over the years, and EasyVista is one of our newer partnerships. They're one of the more modern, fresh, newer solutions, when we're really excited to show it to you today as a great option for Sharewell replacement. StrataCom is a large staff of consultants all over the country. We do a wide variety of consulting services, and a lot of our work last year and this year is really focused on migrating our whole customer database from Sharewell to solutions like EasyVista. So these are the presenters today. I'd like to turn it over now to Rod Schmidt from EasyVista to give you an overview of their organization. And then from there, we'll pass it to Todd Russell to get into today's demo. I would like to let you know we're recording, so if you'd like to rewatch or share, we'll be happy to share links while we wrap up today. We'll also be taking Q&A throughout, so please feel free to use the Q&A or the chat feature to put questions in as we go. We'll have Todd pause from time to time and address questions as we go along. We'll also keep lines open at the end for Q&A. All right, Rod, whenever you're ready, the microphone's
Sounds
all
good.
yours.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you for the introduction there, Laura. Just my background, worked at the BMC product and ITSM for many years, with Sharewell/Avante for over 7.5 years. So we've got a lot of experience there, and then I've been with EasyVista now for almost 2 years. So a lot of background in ITSM. We know the Sharewell product pretty well. I'll be doing a quick intro here, and then I'll have Todd jump right into the demonstration, and that's what you want to really see here. But I'll start with a quick overview. One thing I wanted to add before we jump into the demo and the introduction here, you know, at StrataCom, I work very closely with StrataCom on implementations of Sharewell. My most successful implementations of the Sharewell product were done by StrataCom, and we are doing the same thing now at EasyVista, so a good track record there. And I think for anyone that has a Sharewell product and is looking to do a transformation from that product to something new, you couldn't have a better combination of two companies. So I'm going to take you through some quick basics on the licensing, couple of user stories, etc. here. Oops, what happened there? Hold on 1 minute here. There we go. And then we're going to jump into the demo. I think there's just a few enough people on. You can certainly interrupt Todd, or if you're uncomfortable doing that, just put your question into chat and I will interrupt Todd. Todd and I have worked together for over 20 years at different companies, so I have no problem interrupting him. And if I don't, sometimes he'll talk until it gets dark, so I don't mind interrupting him at all. And then at the follow-up at the end, we'll answer any questions too there at the end, if you want to wait to the end. And then going forward, certainly work with Laura in getting a hold of Todd and I. So. You know, Laura mentioned the fact the company is based over in Paris, France, but we have a huge presence here in North America. Two things I think Sharewell customers or anyone should be worried about or interested in is that we're a very well-established and financially stable organization. Been around for over 18 years. We have a huge, strong 98, 99% renewal rate, and that's backed up by Gartner. One of the reasons I joined this company is because the high ranking they got in the Gartner Peer Insight report. 4.9 is extraordinarily high, and that's customer feedback. And that's what always matters to me. I don't care what the salesperson says. I don't care what the marketing people say. What do the customers say about the product? And I always recommend, if you don't believe what Todd and I are saying today, or Laura, talk to Gartner and you get their feedback. I always recommend go speak with Gartner. We're ranked ahead of ServiceNow. We're ranked ahead of Freshservice, Halo, any of their products that are out there right now. We're ranked very highly from customer feedback. So I always tell people reach out on that. One of the reasons we're so highly rated is we're a platform. If you want to just do an ITSM product, you can do that. Just service management with the idle-based processes, right? We do that very well, very easy to implement, very basic, functionality there. And people often start that way, but as they mature, they find that a lot of the solutions that are out there right now don't go to the second level of maturity. We do. We have a full life cycle asset management platform built into the ITSM solution. At Sherwell, you had to purchase a different piece, the CAM product, which frankly didn't do a ton there. At EasyVista, though, we have full life cycle, start to finish. We give you the ESM product, HR, project portfolio management, facilities, built into the base product. You always had to upgrade the Sherwell product to get that functionality. It's in our base platform. We also give you the remote support. So if you're running TeamViewer, Bomgar, things like that, we actually have that functionality in our platform, included for no extra charge. It's the government product. We renamed it to EV Reach. We also give you a monitoring product with EV Observe, and that will allow you to monitoring. I just talked to an account yesterday is looking to replace a couple other monitoring tools to help with the cost justification of purchasing the EasyVista platform. So really give you a great way of doing tool consolidation and to mature over time. You don't have to use all this functionality day one, but it's available as you mature in your usage of the ITSM solution. AI, that's a hot button right now. Everyone's talking about it. Todd's going to address that during the demo today. We can integrate with anything out there. People always ask me, well, do you integrate with Jira? Of course we do. Do you integrate with Workday? We do. We actually have an orchestrate function that makes that integration very quick, very easy to do. And that's, again, included in the base product discovery. I won't cover a lot of these in detail. Todd's going to talk about them in more detail in just a moment in the demo, but I always have to laugh. My second comment down there at the bottom of the screen. This was a comment that Collegius out in Oak Brook, Illinois actually made when watching the demo, and it's actually a Sherwell replacement. And Joe over there said, my head is spinning thinking about all the things we could do with this platform. And they're in the process now of implementing that. So kind of an interesting comment there. So licensing, much like the Sherwell solution, we have concurrent licenses. But we couple things that we do differently. We don't lock you out. Let's say you have 100 licenses on your term contract. We actually will allow you during peak periods to go 50% over that. There's no lockout like we did in the Sherwell product. So you go up to 150 licenses. For example, for higher education, August, September timeframe, their usage goes up, no additional charge. Those reports come back to me. If it's a 2-week, 30-day, 45, 60-day usage, I don't care. We don't invoice you right away like other solutions do, like ServiceNow. So very flexible, customer-centric company, and that's the EasyVista platform. So we do use AWS for our SaaS environment. You actually, instead of the Sherwell 2 environments, you actually get a total of 6 environments. So you can set that up any way you want with prod, dev, test, etc. Very, again, customer orientated. Only time you need to use a license, you modify a ticket. End users, no license required coming into the portal. Approvers, no license required. You can do reporting, dashboards, no license required. A lot like the Sherwell tool that way, but more flexibility with that 50% overage. Laura, do you want to talk about the migration tool kit at all? Or do you want?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Okay.
As I had mentioned in the introductions, a lot of the work we've been doing over the past 2 to 3 years since Sharewell end of life was announced is moving our huge Sharewell database to solutions such as EasyVista. One thing we found that made the process a lot easier was writing a migration toolkit. So this migration toolkit is a tool our developers and consultants use when we're in implementation products. It's completely free of charge to our customers who have engaged us for implementation services. And what it does is brings all of your data over. It's not going to rewrite one steps you may have in Sharewell, but it'll bring all of your data, information, knowledge articles, so forth into the new solution, really saving a lot of time and ultimately saving on the professional services costs to bring any data you have over. Lots of times customers might have a requirement for a certain number of years of history they have to keep for auditing purposes. And most everyone wants to bring over open tickets, open changes, knowledge articles, so forth. So this is a quick, easy, inexpensive way to accomplish that.
Perfect. Thank you, Laura. A couple quick user stories. Like I said, I have a very small subset of North America, right? I've got a couple states, right? In the last 6 months, I've done 3 solid Sharewell replacements. I'm actually waiting for a signed contract from a 4th one here today, but FIA in Pennsylvania, Sharewell replacement. The platform is what really interested them. The fact they can grow in maturity. They're looking to actually roll out the Reach product. They're looking to roll out the EV Observe product for monitoring. Their phase 1, their initial ITSM implementation, was the most successful product launch they've had in the history of their company. And I thought that was an interesting comment. So, very great customer success story there. The other one is Collegius. I already mentioned them. They're actually in the process of working through the implementation right now. They're replacing Bomgar, Sharewell. They're looking to replace a number of their monitoring tools right now, like Nagios, things like that. Again, the platform really played well for them. And then Reitsman's up in Canada, retail organization, Sharewell replacement. Very quick phase 1, couldn't have gone better than it did, looking for a Bomgar replacement. And you can see we replaced BMC, we replaced Spiceworks, a fresh service up at Hazen and Sawyer. We're a very disruptive force in the marketplace right now. With the Gartner recommendations, the feedback we're getting from the customer base, we're causing a lot of disruption. ServiceNow replacements, I actually have 3 of those going right now. So very solid user stories. I always show that first because I'm happy to set up reference calls too if need be, but we've got some great, references. They love the product. And I'll close with this last slide. Why are we better than other products? Very low total cost of ownership. I already talked about the licenses, the concurrent licensing model, the number of instances or platforms that you get for no charge. We allow the overage 50%, no charge. We include the asset management tool, virtual agent, AI as part of the platform. Not only does that help cost justify things, but allows you to resolve issues quicker too. Low code, no code. I always got to tell that to the Sharewell people. The 1 steps and things like that you used in the past, definitely do the same types of things in the EasyVista solution. And then finally, we develop a true partnership. Unlike most vendors, you get you going up implementing. I know a lot of Atlassian people don't even reach out to their customers. When I worked at Atlassian, I had gotten feedback that some of the customers had not heard from Atlassian for 5 or 6 years. Not the case with EasyVista. We assign you a customer success manager and a technical account manager. And the account manager stays on too. So 3 people are making sure you're getting full value out of the product. And you can see with what's included in the platform, we're not always just trying to sell you new product. We're trying to get you to mature and use your existing product set. So the partnership is really big to us. Any questions there on just some of the basics? Okay, with that, I'll quit sharing my screen and we'll get to the part that you really wanted to see, which was Todd going through the demo. Go ahead, Todd.
Let me go ahead and share my screen out. And just a quick screen check and voice check to make sure everybody can see and hear it.
You're good.
Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and start in the self-service portal where the end users would actually come to request something, report something, get information from the organization. The portal itself is completely configurable. It is actually written on EasyVista service apps. And service apps can be utilized for a number of different things. You can actually have them for dashboards. You can actually utilize them for what we would call contextual apps, which I'll show you a little bit later when we actually go into the technician side of the tool. Again, they are HTML5, so you are not limited like you were in Sharewell to pixel placements. They are responsive and dynamic. They are much easier and friendlier to work with. They can also contain data other than EasyVista data, so I can actually embed other applications inside of these apps as well. Everything on here, again, is configurable. This is an out-of-the-box enterprise service management portal where you can see that I have the ability to request help, request something, or even see all of my tickets. I do have the scrolling marquee down here on the bottom so that I can actually put information out. So, if there's a problem going on in the environment, you can have that there for people to quickly see. If you're repaving parking lots for facilities, you can put that in there for people to see as well. I can also have the hamburger menu where I can actually have links to, the same types of widgets that you had down here, the I need help, I need something, but then you could also incorporate other pieces of information in here as well. Also, I can link to other applications, whether they be EasyVista or external. So here is just a real quick glance into the EV Observe product. While I don't necessarily need my end users to do full monitoring of any of our systems, maybe a quick health check of what the systems are actually doing so that they can quickly come in and say, you know what, I'm having an issue with the internet, but I can see the internet is not reporting as having issues currently. I better go ahead and open a ticket for myself based off of that information. I can also have notifications up here so that if I am part of a conversation, part of a problem, right, I can actually have my notifications. And then I also have the ability down here to have a EasyVista virtual agent. And the virtual agent itself is integrated with the rest of the EasyVista platform. So I can come in here as Emma and say, my iPhone screen is cracked. And now it'll search through the CMDB. It'll check through company policies. And be able to actually show me what type of iPhone I actually have, what is the use policy around that phone. And in this particular case, because it is end of life or up for renewal, it gives me the options to either repair it, create an incident, or change it, create a request. Depending on which one I check will bring me through a different workflow. Obviously, one will be to repair the screen. The other one would be, approvals to order a new iPhone. If I wanted to do something like, maybe I'm having printer issues, I can simply type in printer, and when I do a search, it's going to search through the knowledge base, bring back any knowledge base articles that might be relevant, give me the ability to either order a new printer or create a printer or an incident against my printer. I also have the ability at any given time to just do a quick ticket. I don't want to search for anything. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to open a ticket, so I can go ahead and open a ticket. Now, knowing that each of these widgets down here are going to follow a workflow, this open a ticket is not going to follow a particular workflow, so it's going to just dump it into a general queue in which a technician is going to have to touch it and then move it along. If I come back and I go into I need something, you can see that I can have all of these different catalog items inside of my service catalog. I can actually do some predefined filters, whether it be, all service requests, maybe it's for project and I'm going to put in a demand, some employee lifecycle management. So we do actually include workflow processes for employee moves, onboarding and offboarding. I can also have facilities, human resources, IT, or even just the top 5 used ones. If we actually go back to my IT, I will quickly put one in. In this particular case, Emma, who maybe does some testing periodically, has no clue or idea of what's needed to create or spin up a system in AWS. But with this request, she can actually leverage the entire EasyVista platform to actually put in a request, actually spin up a AWS system or down, right? And then we'll automatically lay down a template for the EasyVista Observe product so that not only when we bring back all of the information and populate the CMDB, we will actually be able to monitor that system as well inside of our environment. So in this particular case, she's going to create it. Now she can actually come in here and pick services, and I am messing around with my services. I apologize, but this would normally show all of the related services or business services that are inside of the organization. I can actually start to build out my impacted and impacting relationships for the CMDB, so that I can start to build a map on how that particular system is going to be affected or could be affecting other systems. Here's for adding that monitoring template on it. I can go ahead and give it a name. Oh, better put a T in there. It can interrogate the AWS platform, and based on my login to AWS, give me the ability to choose which operating system, what size, and then a description. And you'll notice that these forms are dynamic. You know, as I start to do things like as if this is a temporary instance, right? I can actually have my decommissioning date included in there as well. If I take that away, it goes back. I can have multiple pages to these if I don't want to have, you know, the scroll bars in a smaller form factor. You know, again, this questionnaire can be designed and built however you would need it to be. If I go ahead and click OK, it's going to go ahead and submit that request. Give me my request number. And again, we have full integrations with any email systems that are out there, so that your people making the request can actually you'll get emails around that. And then there'll be watermarks so you can respond back to those emails. Also, we do have a Teams integration, if I can find it. Too many open windows. Nope, that's email. Where I can actually start to work with the bot just by typing in help. You know, it comes back and it tells me what I can do. I can search through the knowledge base. I can do incident creation, incident follow-ups. So maybe I'm having issues logging into SAP. And it can start to communicate with me if it has any information for that related specific known errors going on around SAP. You know, it can actually ask questions like, what type of a device are you on? We see you have both a mobile phone and a laptop. You know, are you having problems with the mobile phone or the laptop? All the way through to either helping you resolve the issue, zero touch, or creating an issue inside of this. Also, we are enhancing this bot capabilities to the point of, you know, potentially getting to a live agent if needed, and things like that in the future.
Hey, Todd, we've got a question.
Yeah, I was just going to pause for questions.
Perfect. How are knowledge base articles ranked? And can people set certain articles to be higher on the results list?
Yeah, so knowledge base articles are definitely ranked based off of how many times they've been utilized, and then also on the usefulness of the article. The knowledge managers. Now, while we don't follow the full KCS knowledge practice, we do have the ability to have the knowledge owner or the knowledge manager promote knowledge articles to higher and always showing. Now, you can also have knowledge articles that are for end user consumption and knowledge articles that are for internal or IT type consumption. You can actually have separate knowledge articles for HR, for facilities, for project, and actually segment them out. And we'll actually talk a little bit more about that here when I jump into the technician side. Does that answer the question? And is there any other questions on the portal before I jump over into the technician side?
I don't see anything else in yet.
Okay. So at this point in time, I will go ahead and jump over into the technician side. It is a role-based solution. If my hamsters will start spinning here. And when you come in, I am actually currently logged in today as William. I am an administrator. I do that just so that I don't have to log in and log back out. We also have what the concept of domains, and you can actually utilize domains as a number of different things. So for this instance, because EasyVista is a worldwide organization, if I were to go under my service operations incidents, all incidents, because I am actually currently looking at the domain of whole company, if we actually come down through here, we can probably start to see some incidents in here that I cannot comprehend because they are not in my language, right? So you can see that I'm looking at things for the entire company. Now I can actually go ahead and change my domain down to I just want to see what's going on in the US of A. Now you can also use domains if you are not a worldwide company, or even if you are, you can have domains for just HR. You can have domains for just different departments if you want to, different groups of people if you want to. You can actually have as many domains as you would want, and then domains can actually be segmented via just that domain setting. With the ability to pass information back and forth between the domains or isolate as tight as you would want to. I have a number of widgets across the top of my screen where I can actually come in and start to see any notifications that are for me, any SLA breaches, right? So you can start to see that I've got a number of them that are already showing up as red. I can also click on my late ones and show just my late tickets that have already breached my SLA. I can see things that are assigned specifically to me or to my group. If I actually go into my group view, I can actually come in here and start to see and filter based off of are they assigned, not assigned, and you can have a number of predefined filters, or you can go ahead and create your own filters. You can choose how you want to view it. Do you want to view it as a list, a category, a group, however you want. If I actually choose group, you'll actually notice that I have a number of groups, and at this point in time, I can actually go into a somewhat of a Kanban board, and I can start to move these around inside of here. Now, once I do that, right, I can go ahead and drag and drop it, and it's going to be reassigned over to here and back over to here. Now, it's limited functionality, right? I can't take actions or anything on them from inside of here, but I can move them around to assign them to different groups as needed. Furthermore, I can actually come in, and if I look at my to-do list, right, I can actually see, the tickets that have actually been brought in or submitted through the portal, through the email, right? We can consume emails from email, and we can actually click on these and start to work any of them. Also, inside of here, I have my ability to come in and do look at service requests as well. And here's actually that service request that I did put in for the AWS instance. It's been assigned to William already. So we can actually come in and take a look at that particular service request. And you can actually see that the status bar, We are actually waiting for approvals, and you can see the entire workflow process going across the top there. I can also come in at any time and actually look at what the workflow is and where we're at for that particular ticket itself. Right? These workflows are drag and drop. This one is running, so therefore I can't really edit it because it's actually being utilized currently inside of this ticket. Now, if I came in here and I were to continue through this particular workflow scenario, I can actually come down, go back to my activity, and I could actually go ahead and take ownership of this and process this action. Now, when I process this action and approve it, it is going to go ahead and kick off the workflow for integrating with the EasyVista Orchestrate to go out to AWS and spin up that particular system. Actually, let's go ahead and cancel out of this once and I'll show you something. You'll notice that if I come into the details inside of here, right, I really don't have any equipment information, any service information. None of that has actually been populated out yet. But if I go ahead and approve this, and we'll just give it a comment, we'll finish it. And now it's actually kicking off that automation process in the
Do you want to take a quick look at that?
Yeah, I was. I think it was actually just people asking if we were still connected.
Do we
Go
answer
ahead,
the
Ron.
one that Boris had in the Q&A? Can the AI chat bot create incidents for users? Do we already answer that one, Todd?
Yeah, no, I did not answer that, but yes, it can, Boris. So the AI chatbot has the ability to create incidents. And you were talking about the Teams chatbot or the virtual agent? Is Boris back?
Don't see anything updated yet.
Virtual agent.
Okay, yes. So the virtual agent, so if I go back real quickly, Boris, I can come in here real quickly and say I want to repair that phone. Hey, look at that. Gotta love demo systems when people are messing around in them. So now, if I actually come in, I do a refresh on this screen. And we go to, let's go to to-dos. Let's see here. And because that is in French, I'm not sure that I need to do anything else. So let's go into incidents, all incidents. And let's go for the most current creation date. And don't you just love live demos when they make a liar out of you? This is what happens when you have like 50,000 different conversations going in it.
Hey, Todd,
That's
your
perfect.
countdown on your regular screen.
Yeah, I know.
Countdown is going to expire.
Yeah,
Making me
curious.
nervous.
I think it's this one, but we'll find out now. Maybe not. See if it boots me or not. So, in a production environment, Boris, yes, it will actually allow you to create a ticket. My demo system is obviously going to act funky today, which is perfect for a live demo. So it would come in and it would be on the top of the list. Let's see if it did come in. There it is. Connection problems with smartphone. Right, so there it actually did bring it in. I just didn't wait long enough. I was too impatient. And then we can go ahead and work it. It did come in pre-classified. However, you can always reclassify the ticket as well. Right, and I can assign it, have it do different types of things. Right, now when I'm in an incident, also, let's go ahead and grab one of these like around SAP. You can see that we actually have a number of pieces of information. So our main ticket body is here. We're having SAP login issues. You can actually see where, the categories, incident application, SAP. We can actually always pop over and look at observe. Again, this is one of these contextual apps. where I can actually pop out and see what my services are doing. And now the nice thing about this, now I've got a little different view. It's a different view than the weather chart that I showed you earlier from the portal, is we actually start to have some comments, right? So I can actually start to see some information inside of here. I can actually utilize these to drill into things as well. So if I wanted to make this a live connection over to another application, I can make it so that they are clickable and you can drill in and see more detailed information about that if you wanted to or needed to. Furthermore, when you're inside the service manager as a technician, you have the ability to actually do a number of things up here in the search command. For instance, if I go back to just my home screen and I typed up in here Emma, right, it's going to pop up anything that we have inside of the system related to Emma as a keyword. So I can always pop in and I can look at Emma's record as an employee. I could very quickly go in and look at all of Emma's open tickets, or I could create a new ticket for Emma. If I actually pop into just Emma's employee record, right now I can see all of her employment information, her department, her manager, her profile, all of that type of information. But I can also see any related elements to Emma, such as her main equipment. I can see that she's got a Lenovo laptop. There's that iPhone 15 Pro that we saw earlier. She also has an Audi car. She does use these business services, the invoicing, the production, the internet, and leave. These are the incidents that she has, service requests that she has, and then any knowledge articles that she may be part of or had some form of author. What she's actually done for knowledge. Now, if I were to do a quick call, right, so I'm a phone taker and I just click on quick call and I wanted to start to enter a incident into the system, it automatically assigns it to me as who I'm logged in at, but I can very quickly come in here and just start typing a name, populate it with all of that information. So now I've got Emma in as my recipient. I can actually come over and say, let's go with 365 issues. And thank God there's a spell checker because I can't spell. And then you'll notice that we've got this little 3 stars here, which is AI. So I can actually rephrase this professionally or rephrase this friendly. Now, we're putting the AIs in here for a number of different reasons. One of the reasons is that we actually want to be able to leverage these closed or resolved incidents for knowledge, right? So I can go ahead and rephrase this professional. And it'll look at it and it'll come back and give me some suggestions, right, where I could go ahead and apply it. I can also come up here and use that description for my title itself. Now, I can also come over and start to look at what we refer to as Pulse AI, which is AI automation for urgency, category, and other similar tickets in the environment around this particular title. Okay. Now I can also do a number of other things inside of here. If I actually wanted to, I could initiate remote control session utilizing our EasyVista Reach, where it will actually start a remote control session with that system, right, the 0365 system, and I can actually pick the server that I want to remote control. And then the nice thing is anything that I were to do inside of the remote control is going to get copied into this particular incident as notes, so that if I utilize this for knowledge, if somebody were to have the same type of an issue, they would be able to go through the history and actually be able to pull that information back and be able to see exactly what was done. You no longer have the day and age of technicians just typing fixed it in the summary or the close notes. You can actually have that right inside of the tickets themselves. Now, also, on any one of these tickets, we have the ability to do a number of what we refer to as wizards. And I could actually create new tasks. I could report this as a major incident. So the ones that I use on a regular basis will populate across the top, or you can pick and choose which shortcuts you want on here. I can also come in and say, you know what, we're starting to see a lot of issues with 365. I can go ahead and create a new problem, or I could link it to an existing problem. If I go to a new problem, it's going to do that. It's going to create that problem and bring over all of the pertinent information from this incident that's already been created, allowing me to have a related incident to that problem. And from there, we could then go into a change request as well. Also, up here under the command line, I have the ability to do what we refer to as slash commands. So if I do a slash, I can actually see that I can search through different CIs, different employees, different equipment. I can actually do Google searches, but I can also put wizards associated with these slash commands as well. So for instance, if I wanted to create a wizard for doing a password reset, I could just go in here, type slash password reset, and it would fill in the incident ticket for me for that incident reset or that password reset, and can actually do things like kick off our EV orchestrate, where we could maybe go into Entra and do a password reset automatically through integration capabilities. Now, I haven't talked a whole lot about orchestrate, and let me just log back in here. But Orchestrate is our iPath solution. It is a drag and drop workflow editor as well, where we can actually do a number of things. This is what I did actually utilize to create that AWS instance. So if we actually come in here and look at it, this is the workflow that we actually followed to build out that AWS instance and then pull all of that information back. I can also come in here and take a look at other workflows that might be out here. You can see that we've got some around Microsoft for syncing to Intune, but we actually have a number of pre-built connectors where you can actually come into many different systems and have those connections already pre-built. Once you're in them, you can actually go into the different areas and see what all capabilities are available to you inside of here, and just drag and drop these out here to build your workflow around that for orchestration. A lot of people will utilize these for onboarding, offboarding capabilities, password reset capabilities, pulling or putting information into other systems. We do have one out here for Jira. So if you want to link your Jira development environment to EasyVista, we actually have those already pre-built for you. Some different PowerShell stuff. Microsoft Azure, right? So the ability to actually come in and sync information back and forth between those different platforms. Then also, all of your ITIL-based processes are going to be over here. Now, because I'm an administrator, this is extremely busy, but you can actually pare these down based off of different users. Again, it is a role-based solution, so if we actually come in and look at user profiles, we can actually see what the out-of-the-box user profiles are, and on any one of these, we can actually come in and start to see what type of information they can access, can't access, what they can run, can't run, see, not see. All of that information is available. Inside of a regular incident, again, once we actually start to get into the incidents themselves, and let's see if I can find one real quickly that has MSPC. Right, so once you've actually assigned a piece of equipment, you can always drill into the CMDB and start to see all of the pertinent information around that PC itself. Again, all of the related information to it is going to be over here on the right-hand side, so we can see the model, the manufacturer, We can actually get into the warranty information, when it was installed, the financial data around it, and then get into the details around all of the processor information. We can even get into the green energy consumptions of that particular system. But then we can actually start to see what software licenses are associated with this device, the history of changes around it, any incidents that have been opened against it, service requests, changes that it's been affected in, and then just some different actions that have been taken against this particular device. Also, there is a complete reporting section where we have about 125 pre-canned ITIL-based reports where we can actually come in and start to look at different pieces of information. So, maybe we want to look at monthly activity, and we can actually start to see that information. Now, we can also filter these again, rearrange them, take a look at them however we would want to. We can also come in and pick a report. Let's see here. And if we wanted to edit it to make it more relevant to what information we're looking for, we can actually come in and start to pick and choose what fields we want to see, the different search criteria that we actually want to use, what's the parent query. We can edit the queries themselves and actually start to include all of the different pieces of information. Do we want them to be able to be filtered by it? Do we want it to be a default view or default field for our view? So again, we expose all of the data that's in the system. It is a SQL database on the back end, including any fields that you would add, and they're all going to be available to you for reporting. EasyVista does have the ability to integrate with Power BI, Tableau for reporting purposes, so you can actually leverage those tools for reporting as well. We are coming out with our own Power BI-like reporting tool called EV Insights that can actually also be used for more complex reporting capabilities as well. Any other questions so far?
I don't see anything yet.
Okay. All right. So we also have the ability to go directly for asset management capabilities. We have the ability to go directly into the CMDB to look at individual pieces of equipment based off of the inventory, or we can actually come in and look at business services or what we refer to as configuration items. Now, when we actually look at configuration items, you can see that I've got my US accounting business service. It is in production. It is business critical. You can see that we do versioning around it. If I want to see what the map looks like for this particular system, I can actually come in and start to see the view of that itself. And I can actually go out, I think, 4 levels, right? So that I can actually see what that environment actually looks like. I can also go in and look at that service as just a service itself, and then we can start to get into looking at the impacting CI. So if I make a change to this particular business service, what are other CIs that are going to be impacted based off of my change to this particular system? Inside of here, you can also start to get into who is the owner of this, what's the manufacturer, what are my SLAs, right? And you can actually have any number of SLAs that you want inside of the system. We can set SLAs based off of people, business systems, a particular piece of equipment if you want to, or you can actually configure other criteria as well.
Todd, quick question. Is there a mobile app? Will we see it?
There is a mobile app. We actually just use a mobile browser. We got about 5 minutes left. I could pull up Reflector and stuff. It'll probably take me 2-3 minutes just to link my phone to the system. But if you want, I can actually create a one-off video and send it out with the video as well. Up to people. Do they want me to? Video will work, Boris?
Yes, the video
Right.
will work, Todd.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. You'll also notice that I leave my little breadcrumbs across the top, right? So I can always jump back and forth. So for instance, you know, like when I was in that incident, open up a particular incident. If I were to go ahead and create a problem from this, and create a new problem, set my urgency. And let's go ahead and set my category properly. Once I create that problem, right, I can assign it to a specific support person. I can schedule it. I can actually even schedule SLAs around it. The problem has actually been generated. So now you can actually see that I'm in the incident. I've got my problem. If I go to my problem, I could still pop back over to my incident, right? But I've got my incident and my problem right up here on the same screen, so I don't have to create another web browser or do anything like that. I can actually just flip back and forth between the two. If I were to create a change from this problem, it would be the same thing, right? I can have that change, but I could go ahead and do a new change request from inside of here as well. For change, we do support as many change types as you want, but out of the box, we actually have the 3 different changes. And if I go ahead and hit on next here, right, it's going to ask me what type of a change is it? Is it a normal change, a standard change, or an urgent change? But again, you can create as many changes as you want, and they're going to follow the change workflows. Now, we can actually utilize one workflow for all the different change types based off of just selections and that criteria based inside of that change, so you don't have to manage a number of different change workflows, or you could have them independent. It's entirely up to you. But again, if I go ahead and do a normal change, it's going to just bring me through filling out the change itself. I have to add a CI. Let's grab one and throw it in there. And then what's my expected start date? So you can do it a number of different ways, Boris. You can do it through just standard old API integrations with, are you Entra? Where do you keep your data today? I guess if it doesn't matter, we can really utilize that API. Yeah, definitely the ability to go to your on-prem AD. We can actually even do a combination. If you had some on-prem or in the cloud, we can go to either one. If you have some of that information that you want to pull from Workday, obviously we can do that as well. With our Orchestrate product, we can actually do it. Therefore, you're not responsible for maintaining those API connections. You can actually have us maintain those, or the Orchestrate product, and be able to sync that data either on a schedule or it can be live.
Hey, Todd, we're hitting the top of the hour here. And so great questions here. As a follow-up, if anyone would like a deeper dive demo or a focused demo like on asset or mobile, that type of stuff, happy to do that. Just work that through Laura from StrataCom, and she knows how to get a hold of Todd and I, and we'll get it set up for you. We also have, like Todd mentioned, pre-recorded demos on mobile asset. Asset alone is a half an hour quick overview. It's a very detailed product. We're happy to send those out. Just request that from Laura. Oh, Laura, you're still on. Do you have anything to add there, Laura? Just a follow-up in pricing or any type of proposal? Work that through Laura. We'll get her the information ASAP. So go ahead, Laura.
Yeah, I just actually put a note. I have to drop for another meeting, but I put my email address in the chat here. Please reach out if you'd like quotes, personalized demos for your team. Happy to help with any additional sessions if you'd like to take a deeper dive.
Yep, Todd loves doing demos. Don't hesitate to ask. Happy to do a demo, same type of demo for a bigger group. Just let us know. Okay, thanks everyone. Todd, great job as always, and everyone have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.